got here. Super Bowl 57. Welcome, everyone, to episode 244 of the Dream Wager. Saturday, February 11th, 2023. Elvis, we are 24 hours away from Super Bowl 57. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and I am joined each and every episode by my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. How you doing today, kid?
Feeling great, Dill. Loaded weekend for you guys. Got my
Yep.
Patriots hoodie on because, most Super Bowls in history, so got to represent. And Dill, I'm just ready, man. Got a great pay-per-view tonight. Check out UFC, and then the game of the year, Dill.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. I can't wait, Dill. I think it's going to be a great one. And I can't wait to talk our plays because I know we have a bunch for you guys.
We got a bunch. Yep. It's going to be it's a crazy week. Yesterday we had SmackDown. Today, UFC 284. And then tomorrow, like we said with CT, we'll get to CT in a little. We got an interview with CT Bets. He breaks down his best bets for Super Bowl 57. We'll give our plays. But, it was kind of like what he was saying. It's kind of bittersweet. Everything's coming to an end. It's just one more game. And then tomorrow come Monday morning, it's like, it's sad. We got to mourn because we're like the furthest away from when Super Bowl or when football is actually going to happen again. So we got baseball, we got basketball, we got some hockey to keep us preoccupied. But Elvis, trade deadline was absolutely bonkers this year. 53 players traded, $516 million in salaries moved. 9 first-round picks were dealt. 41 second-round picks.
They were just
That's
trading
crazy.
5 second-round picks all day. They were just throwing them back and forth. Who got stuck with the 5 second-round picks?
It's insane. We'll start at the top. Jacob Potiti from the Spurs. He got traded to the Raptors. Kevin Durant. We'll talk about that. I think that's the biggest one. He gets traded to the Suns. Jay Crowder gets traded in like 7 fucking first round or second round picks. George Hill goes back to the Pacers. Talibert for the 76ers. He's on the move to Portland. What else? Wiseman. That was very interesting to me. They kind of gave up on him.
He's a bust. He's a bust still.
Yeah, but
that's a fireball offense. You had the second overall pick, and you won.
He did have promise. I would say this. I would defend them in saying in college he looked good.
No, even like in what's that summer league? Yeah. He was pretty damn good. You saw the potential, but soon he got into the NBA. He had some games here and there, but dude, it wasn't. For the second overall pick, he was drafted ahead of LaMelo Ball. Yeah. You got to be better than LaMelo Ball,
We got Eric Gordon, John Wall going back to Houston. That's hilarious. Luke Kennard in that 3-team deal. Pat Bev is on his way to Orlando for Mo Bamba. I actually thought the Lakers had a pretty good trade deadline, don't you?
Besides the Suns, I'll give them the second best trade deadline winners, just because, they were the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. And now, you got Vanderbilt, you got Malik Beasley, you got D'Angelo Russell.
Thomas
Bryant. Like, I want to say you're a top 10 3-point shooting team, but you're definitely, you move up at least 10, 15 slots.
They have some solid role players, don't you think?
Still, I love Hashi Hokumara. They got him, 3 weeks ago. I love the subtraction of Russell Westbrook. And I also love the subtraction of Patrick Beverley. You know me, I watch these games a lot. Pat Bev goes out there and does nothing. He gives you about 4 points a game, couple turnovers, few good defensive possession, but he also has a lot of ticky-tack fouls. So I don't know why he was on the court so much. Maybe it was just a rotation thing, but Pat Bev wasn't doing anything for the Lakers. Trust me, I watched the games. He wasn't doing anything out there on the floor.
So Kevin Durant to the Suns. We talked about it last pod where it was a potential he might be on the move, but you said, you know what, you didn't really think so. And the new GM or the new owner, I should say, of the Phoenix Suns really stepped up. He went after him. There was a lot of interest on the two sides. And Kevin Durant wanted to be in Phoenix. When he asked for a trade a few months ago, Phoenix was one of those teams that was on his list. So, they got Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. What are their chances do you give them now to make a run in the West? Because we said, hey, the West is wide open. On paper, they might have the best team.
Yeah, Dill, I give them a shot to represent the West, especially in the Western Conference. Dill, like you said, the Western Conference is wide open. So if healthy, that's the thing. I think all four got to be healthy for them because you know what I'm saying. They're not a deep team. They're not going to be the same defensive team they was last season either. Dill, you know, you lose Bridges, you lose Cam, you lose Jay Crowder. You can't Bridges and Jay Crowder usually take on the opposing side best offensive
They're the
weapons.
two best defenders.
Exactly. Now you lose that. I know you're planning on thinking, oh, we're just gonna outscore everybody with Kevin Durant, Booker, and Chris Paul. But come playoff time, you need those defensive stops to keep you in the game, Dale. So if healthy, I do like them representing the West as of right now, Dale. But come playoff time in those dip and tuck games when you need defensive stop, will they be able to get those stops come late in the game? Because you look at the Mavs, you look at the Clippers, you look at Memphis, you look at Denver. They got these weapons that could give you buckets in bunches. There, we saw Jamal Murray average 40 points a game in the series in the bubble. We see what Ja and the Memphis team's able to do. We see Kawhi and this
Yeah.
Clippers team. They're coming along now. They're finally starting to get healthy, Dill. And maybe some other teams that could creep back in. Maybe the Pelicans if healthy. So it all depends if they're going to be all four healthy. Because think about it, though, Durant is not going to be back to what? Let's say March. Yeah. So they're only going to get about 15 games in, possibly all four together. So is 15, 20-ish games enough to build some type of chemistry to go out there and win a championship? I don't know, but I would love
Yeah.
to see it.
I would love to see it. I mean, they have all the talent in the world, and I think it comes down to what you were saying. It's health. Can all these guys, and they all have playoff kind of failures. Chris Paul, we already know the history in the playoffs. Devin Booker, he struggled in the playoffs as well. DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to be there. So there's some things they need to uncover, but I do like them. I don't know if I'd take them, but there are a lot of interesting things too. I like D'Lo going back to the Lakers for a second time. I think there could be something special there. I think he's matured a little bit. I think he's grown as a player. What do you think about D'Lo going back to the Lakers?
One quick note: the fact that Nick Young ain't on the team is a positive. Second of all, I hope he learns from his mistakes when he was a younger player. And like you said, that he's much older now. He's kind of a veteran, and I think he could help this team much more than Russell Westbrook is helping the team at the moment. Think about it. There's 6 games under 500. I think if you have D'Angelo Russell from the start of the season, I want to say you're above 500, but I don't think you're 6 games under 500 either.
Yeah. There was also a report, it was declined, but the Nets declined a 3-team deal in October that would have sent Ben Simmons to Utah, Donovan Mitchell to Miami, and Bam Adebayo to Brooklyn. If that did go, would you have liked that?
Hell no. Well, Bam is better than Ben. So,
By far.
but Donovan Mitchell going to Miami, I don't know. To be honest, do I love it? No, but is Bam better than Ben? Yes. So I would have been okay with it, but having Donovan Mitchell in Miami, eh.
Let's talk about your Nets now, real quick. So, you guys, whole new team now. You got rid of a lot of contracts, got a lot of picks back now. Seems like this is the second time the Nets have struck out building a super team and not showing anything for it. One, how do you see this team rebuilding in the future? And two, do you see Ben Simmons in that future?
Still, to be honest, possibly see Ben Simmons in the future just because he's on the contract, and it ain't like we're paying him a ton of money, but he is a little overpaid. If we're able to move him for something reasonable, by all means we'll move him. But if we can't get nothing reasonable back there, it's only so much we can do. And Dill, to be honest, moving forward, Dill, I kind of love our team, Dill, right now. What would you if I tell you Nets versus 76ers? What would you think the spread would be
In Brooklyn or in Philadelphia?
in
Or on a
Brooklyn?
neutral court?
Right, nigga, in Brooklyn.
76ers -3, -4.
Well, right now we're playing them today, Dill, and we're only a point and a half dog. So Vegas is telling you we're still a solid team. Philly's healthy. Philly's healthy. Philly's a top five team, and we're slight dogs against them, Dill. So I love our lineup. Think about it, Dill. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, Royce O'Neal, Malik Bridges, Nick Claxton. That's a solid starting five.
Yeah.
And then our bench, we might have arguably the deepest bench in the league. You got Seth Curry. You got Cam Johnson, who's a three-point machine.
Joe
you got
Harris
Unis.
came back.
Joe Harris came back. Cam Thomas, who's been playing out of his mind. So I like the pieces that we got, Dill. Maybe we can start building around Cam Thomas as he's the future. Who knows? But Dill, we reloaded our draft capital. We don't have one superstar we're paying more than $25 million a year for. So we got the cap space, we got the draft picks, and we have a pretty good, nice roster. Dill. I don't think we're compete for a championship, but I think we're just a superstar away from being competitive.
Yeah. Again. I mentioned it when you guys got the whole for even just Kyrie before the Kevin Durant trade. I thought you guys got some nice depth, that guys that you kind of needed on the wing player. You got some bench players that will help you as well. And the only thing I would push back, I still think you're a playoff team, maybe not as high as you once were with all the superstars with KD and Kyrie, but you look at Ben Simmons, the only thing I would push back on is the Ben Simmons contract, and I think you guys have to move off of him. One, he doesn't offer anything on the court, I feel like. And two,
he still gives, some defensive prowl, and he's a double threat. Do I understand? And I agree with you. I'm not trying to disagree with you, but he still has some.
You could get more for what you're paying him.
Yes, that's what I said. I agree with you 100%. He is overpaid, but Ben Simmons still could do some things that could help us win. So I don't want to just give him away. I would like to get a nice piece in return for him, but I still think Ben Simmons could help a team win.
It's just no one's gonna take this contract. He's making $35 million this year, and then the next year he's making $37 million, and then the following year he's making $40 million.
Yeah.
That just can't happen. A guy who with that productivity shouldn't be making that much money.
Hey, we didn't give him that contract.
No, but you took it on.
Yeah, but we didn't give it to him.
Regardless of who gave it to him, you took it on once you signed him or once you acquired him. So I think that contract needs to go. I think he needs to leave. And then once Ben Simmons is gone, you could finally start to rebuild freshly, because it was those three. It was the three-headed monsters that were just cancerous amongst the team, and it never worked out. And unfortunately, it was funny because Ben Simmons, the first quote they said was, "How do you feel with Kyrie?" He goes, "Oh, we're going to be scary." Come on. Go. You know who still runs New York. Well, we won't say anything there, but yeah, overall, I thought it was a very good. I think you messaged me as well saying, "Yo, this might have been like the busiest, most entertaining, especially within the last hour or two of the deadline." It seems like every year the deadline gets busier and busier towards the end. What do you think overall of the deadline?
In recent years, I think this is definitely the biggest trade deadline in the past recent years. They'll think about it. You saw Kyrie get moved. You saw Kevin Durant get moved. You saw I know we don't think highly of Russell Westbrook anymore, but at the end of the day, he is a top.
He's a big name still.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of big names been moved. Like you said, a ton of draft capital. Like you said, $500 million in salary. So
yeah,
this is definitely the most active, and most superstars have been traded in as a trade deadline that I could remember most recently.
41 second-round picks. Are they don't mean anything anymore?
To be honest, they'll name me a second-round stud. Name me
Draymond Green, Hall of Famer.
Still, he's not as impactful right now.
He's a Hall of Famer. You said name you one.
You're right. You got that. But it's not a ton of teams lining up for Draymond Green, though.
No.
Nobody.
Exactly. But he does everything on the team, and I think he does more like in locker room.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
You said Draymond Green. How long ago was Draymond Green drafted?
A while ago, I would say.
Yeah, like 12 years, you'll say. 10 plus. So one all-star caliber player in the past 10 seasons. That's not good. I'll be trading them too.
We could say the MVP, the Joker. He was drafted in the second round.
Yeah, the Joker was drafted in the second round.
Manu Ginobili, Hall of Famer. Yeah, you could say they're old, but there are some notable ones. Like I said, Draymond Green, only one come off the top of my head, but Oh, another one. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but very good career. Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap was the second round pick.
And
I don't
Atlanta.
think so. I think he was.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was. I thought he was like a team pick, like a late.
Like a lottery? No, Paul Millsap. But other than that, you got Doc Rivers. Shout out Doc Rivers.
Shout out Doc Rivers.
Hall of Famer now. But yeah, some notable. You're right. It hasn't been over the last 10 years, but you get a dime a dozen here and there. You get a good player in the second round.
No,
But other than that, before we get to our interview with CT Bets, let me tell you guys about our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Viva Tequila is the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Super Bowl Sunday with the boys, our flavors pair perfectly with our Ticino Blanco tequila for that subtle but refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, here is our interview with Chris Thurston. All right, love that guy, having him on. CT Bets with us on the Dream Wager, and so glad we were able to take a few minutes to break down such a huge game. Now it's time for our plays, Elvis. Super Bowl 57 going down in Glendale, Arizona. Should be a big one. You know, I think all the focus is going to be on Patrick Mahomes, how that ankle, how that leg really feels after the 2 weeks off. Like I said with CT, you know, the Chiefs, they opened up the favorite a few weeks ago. Money came in on the Eagles, flipped the line. The Eagles are the favorite right now, -1.5. Total sitting around 50.5. We'll get to the total in a sec, but sidewise, you were flipping and flopping all week. Have you come down on a side?
Dill, I did it last night, Dill. And I had a tough time making this decision, people, because I respect Patrick Mahomes. I respect the Chiefs. I love what I saw in the AFC Championship game, especially on the defensive side of the ball, on both sides of the ball, honestly, on the line, offensive line and defensive line. But what worries me when it comes to the Chiefs, still, is can that secondary hold up? Remember, they allowed, I think, the second most touchdowns in the league with the secondary deal. Can Chris Jones, Frank Clark, all provide pressure, enough pressure to move Jalen Hurts? They'll make him uncomfortable because that's the best O-line in football. Two great offensive lines you matching up here, Dill, but the Eagles front is just Jalen Hurts barely gets touched still. You know, we saw in the AFC Championship, Patty Mahomes get untouched, didn't get sacked once on that ankle deal. But with the front with the Eagles, I think they could get pressure. I think they could get home. They're just loaded in that front end, and they got a deep rotation. When you're not starting the Ndamukong Suh, that's when you know you have a deep rotation deal. So it's kind of tough saying this deal, but guess what, Dill? I'm going with the Eagles on the money line. They're simply just a better team. I understand the Chiefs have, you know, basically the top 3 out of the top 5 players. But the rest are all Eagles. They're the best secondary in football. One of the best D-lines in football. The best O-line in football. One of the best running games in football. Great wide receiving core. Middle linebacker core. Up there. Still, they're just a better team. And I cannot bet against the better team, Dill. So I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
All right. I mean, I don't know. We both tried to prove on the right side, but I guess you're just going to have to learn. I'm on the Chiefs as well. I'm on the Chiefs. I took them +2.5, +2, +1.5. I took them again this morning at money line. You know, I think I just, like I was saying with CT, I think at this point, if you are on the Chiefs or on any side, just lay the points or just take them straight up. I mean, I do think the 2 weeks is going to help Mahomes and the Chiefs more than it's going to help the Eagles. Mahomes probably isn't 100, but like I said, who is 100 at this point? But I'd rather take a 70-75% Mahomes over 100 or 80% Jalen Hurts. To be honest, he's just a much better quarterback every day of the week. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but that system fits him so perfectly. They don't ask him to do too much. Patrick Mahomes is going to put on that Superman cape and he's going to take over the game. And all their receivers are healthy. Kadarius Toney, Travis Kelce, MVS had a big game. So maybe we'll see more than him. Besides Hartman, all of them should be good to go. I think they have a I wouldn't say much better, but I think I think their run game is just as good as the Eagles. They have a three-headed beast.
Yeah, out of everything, that's like probably the most equal. The running game, I'll give a slight edge to the Eagles just because Jalen Hurts can hurt you a little more. But the Chiefs, you got to respect their running game as well. They got Edwards-Helaire back. You got Pacheco. You got McKinnon who could catch it and run it. So definitely got to respect their running game, though.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. They have to establish a run game at some point because they can't all just rely on Patrick Mahomes the whole game. So the two like you're right. No question. Out of the 50-something players on the active roster, they probably have 50, 55 of better players. But two of the most important, quarterback, tight end, and coach, I got the Chiefs. And I think CT made a good point. I think Nick Sirianni's getting too much credit when he's just surrounded by all-star and Pro Bowlers. So I think it has to do more with the players than him scheming things up. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. They've been there. I know they're 1-5 in their last 6 times getting here, but I think they get number 2. I think Andy Reid, I think he wants to beat the Eagles. There's a lot. He never won one with the Eagles, or he didn't win one with the Eagles.
He lost us.
Exactly. So he's going to want to win against the Eagles. I just think the stars are aligned more for the Chiefs, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles win. Regardless, I think the game will be close. As for the total, opened up around 49. Money has come in on the over. It's sitting around, I'm looking at it right now, 50.5 is the total. Line, people are betting the over. Do you agree with the over? And do you have any opinion on the over?
I lean the over, though. I like the over. Just because we've seen the Eagles score 30 points every game, and then the Chiefs' offense, they're so dynamic, though. They can explode in any quarter and put up 21 just in a quarter. So we know how explosive the Chiefs' offense is. It's just will we see the Eagles march up and down the field like we've seen them do in the division round and in the NFC Championship game, deal. Like I said earlier. This will be the Eagles' toughest task, though, but I do believe points will be scored. I have trust in that Eagles offense, still. That offensive line is going to give Jalen Hurts a clean pocket, and then if the receivers just could get open or, he could make a play here and there, I think their offense will be successful against that Chiefs defense if Jalen Hurts have enough time to throw the ball, though. So I like the over. Honestly, I might take it officially come tomorrow, but it's a lean for now. Just because it will get to 51, 52. It wouldn't shock me if both teams are somewhere near 60 points combined either, because we've been seeing it all playoff long. The Chiefs, offensively explosive, and then the Eagles, they put up 30 points in the division round, 30 points in the NFC Championship game. So you can basically lock them in for a high 20, low 30 score.
Yeah, we saw earlier in the playoffs, a lot of unders, people nervous. Now we've seen a ton of overs. And I think I could argue for the Philly. They could have scored more if they weren't just running the clock out and running the ball the whole second half. They could have.
Both games were over early in the third quarter. Yeah. Giants, the game was over by half. Some people say it by the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then the San Francisco, I'll say third quarter it was over because they still had a small chance, but they had no quarterback. So did they really ever have a chance still? So
that's the thing.
That's my thing, though. So we could have seen these Eagles probably put up 40, 50 points if they stood in.
And, a lot of the Super Bowls lately, second half, they've started out kind of slow. But, I like to CT said, first half over 24. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a 14-14, 17-14 type of game going into halftime. We got two aggressive coaches who are going to literally do anything and everything to get a lead and maintain a lead. So I kind of like the first half over more than the full game over. Like earlier in the week, I was leaning under. I never got to the window. I love betting unders, but then all the money came in on the over. It just scared me. I can see a shootout. like my correct score is 28-24, and that would be 52 points. So it would be over. So I guess a small lean to the over, but nothing official. I mean, if you want to play a total, I'm just more confident on the side, to be honest, than the total. So now let's get into the fun part. All the props that we have. Elvis, you told me you have 16 plays. How is that possible?
First of all, Dell, you got the defensive side of the ball. You got the offensive side of the ball. You got the coin flip. You got special teams. And then, a little here, a little there. Sack here, sack there.
Let me hear. What's your most let's start with your most confident, and then let's work your way down.
All right, my most confident prop of the Super Bowl. Let me tell you this one. Give me Kenneth Gainwell. I apologize. Give me Kenneth Gainwell over 34.5 receiving and rushing combined. People, we seen him. Dylan could tell you the stats. We seen him be dynamic threat, running the ball from the backfield and catching the ball for receiver. Dale, I think I don't think he starts in the slot, but he will get some receptions in the slot, Dale. And then in the running game, Eagles are flat out running with anybody, Dale. They're so confident in the offensive line. They got a four-headed monster, including Jalen Hurts, still. So it wouldn't shock me if Gainwell could go out there, get 20 rushing and 30, 40 receiving yards somewhere. So I expect him to have some type of impact in this game. It wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't shock me if he goes over 50, 60 yards total. So this is why this is my most confident play. He's always somewhere in the lineup. Like I said, he's in running back position in the slot, and they line him up in the backfield a lot because he could run it and and catch the ball, Dale. So give me Gainwell more than 34.5 receiving and rushing.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I think we discussed this a few days ago. And last 5 games, he's hit this in 4 of his last 5 games. Only game he didn't hit this was in New Orleans, but last time against the Chiefs, over 89 receiving and rushing. So he has success against this team. I like this play as well. I'm going to tell you on the 30. I was able to get 35.5. I still like it. Yeah. You got 34, right?
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't shock me if he's over 50.
Yeah. He gets a lot of targets, and he's also on the field a lot. So
yeah, he breaks one tackle as a first down. So we're 1/3 there.
What else you got for us? Well, let's ping pong it. I'll go next. I mentioned it as well. I'm going to take Travis Kelce over his receiving prop, over 76.5 receiving yards. Numbers climbed a little. It's up to 79 and also at 80 at some places. So I know the Eagles have a great secondary, just a great defense overall, but this man is just always open. It doesn't matter how much you game plan. The guy just always gets open. You could double team him. You could triple team him. He always finds the hole some way, somehow. And especially the master of Andy Reid game planning, Eric Bieniemy as well. So it's Mahomes' number 1 target. I think he targets him at least 10 times. I think he goes over this number. And one-on-one tackling in the open field, I don't know if any of those D-backs or secondary defenders can tackle Travis Kelce one-on-one. So I think there's going to be a lot of yards after catch as well. So I'm going to go over 76.5, whatever you could get. I like his receiving prop over Travis Kelce for me.
Yo, talking about Travis Kelce, give me Travis Kelce anytime touchdown at -127. I've seen it drop a little bit to -125. So shop around, people. Like you were saying, Dill. I just feel like Travis Kelce is the number 1 option on the offensive side of the ball, and I think he's the number 1 red zone threat, not just for the Chiefs, but possibly in the whole entire NFL. So I love Travis Kelce. I think he gets in there. Might even sprinkle something on him. 2 touchdowns or more, Dill, because we saw him get 2 touchdowns with Chad Henne and Patty Mahomes. So it wouldn't shock me if he gets another 2 as well, Dill. He's the number 1 target, and what he said in that post game, in that interview head of the game, he said, Big Red, baby. Andy Reid. Reid always finds a way to get him open, Dill. And I think in the red zone, he will find the play to get him open, Dill.
Yeah, I took Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. I got it at -115. The book I'm looking at right now, it's at -125. He's the most heavy juice player to get a touchdown for obvious reasons. I also like Miles Sanders anytime touchdown, +120. I expect, especially when he gets down in the red zone, how many times do they just pound the ball in? They're just going to give it to him, or they'll give it to one of their other backs, Gainwell, or even Hurts. He might run it in one.
My man Bart Scott, legend.
So Bart Scott, it's Boston
Oh,
Scott,
Boston Scott, my fault.
but
Bart
Bart
Scott,
Scott is a legend.
he is
Though.
a legend. Can't wait.
But yeah, Miles Sanders plus 120 as well. I like him. Speaking of Travis Kelce as well, there's a special on the book that I'm using. Travis Kelce 25 plus receiving yards in each half at minus 115. I think he might get it in the first quarter and the third quarter. I think he might get it in every quarter, to be honest. So 25 yards in each half. I got 2 quarters to get 50. I got 4 quarters to get 50 yards. And if I like the over his receiving prop, I think obviously he's going to do this. So minus 115, I like that as well. Anything else for you?
Yeah, I got a few, so I don't
Yeah.
know if you want me to start. Give me Devontae Smith over 61.5 receiving yards. Still, like I said a few podcasts ago, we've seen the transition of AJ Brown being the number one, and now I believe Devontae Smith is the number one wide receiver now. For some reason, I don't know if it's an Alabama connection or what it is still, but Jalen Hurts, it seems like he's been feeding the ball a little more to Devontae. Hey, maybe they just double teaming AJ Brown. The defense is have a little more focus on AJ, and Devontae could just be one-on-one coverages. Maybe that's it, Dill. But I love Devontae Smith. I think he's gonna have a huge game, and like I said, I think he's a new number one. Maybe not in the playbook, but with the coverages they keep giving him, he's beating the coverage every time, Dill. So give me Devontae Smith over 61.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, he hasn't hit it in his last 2 against the Giants and 49ers, but other 3 games, Dallas, he had 113, New Orleans 115, 67 against the Giants.
You can't count the Giants or the 49ers because, like I said, those games are over first, second quarter.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't think they're gonna be blowing the Chiefs out any point in this game. I don't think there'll be a 17-0 scored up there. You know?
Yeah, last time he versed the Chiefs, though, he went for 122 yards. So could have a big game. He might have success, especially if they double team AJ Brown. So I do like that play as well. What else you got?
Still, like I said it earlier, that defensive front, including the best secondary in football, I think they will give Patrick Mahomes trouble. Remember, that ankle's not 100%. You know it. I know it. He knows it. I think they could distract them a little bit. I'm not going to say we're going to see Patty Mahomes like the one we saw against Tampa in that Super Bowl, but I think it's going to be pretty damn close still because that front is pretty damn good. Give me Patty Mahomes under 292.5 passing yards still. I don't think he goes up there. I think he stays around 250 to 275 max still. Like you said earlier, I think they're going to have to rely on this running game to win this game. I don't think you could do it dropping back Patty Mahomes 40-plus times. I think you got to sprinkle the running game in there and then pick your spots with Patrick Mahomes because you know he's going to throw a laser. It's just you can't just drop him back 3 dropbacks. You can't do it every possession. So I think they're going to run the ball a lot. His ankle's not 100%. I don't think he drops back 40-plus times. Giddy Patty Mahomes under 292 passing yards.
Do you think the Eagles will have more sacks than the Chiefs?
Yeah. Okay. Not by much though, because you know how much I love Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is gonna have a huge.
I got him to record a sack at plus money.
Yeah, me too. I got it at minus 118. So the fact that you got it at plus money is lit. That's another play for mine. I got Chris Jones anytime sack at minus 118.
There are a lot of like props that are minus.
Yeah, they're trying to take your money.
Hassan Reddick, he's probably the best defense.
No,
I wouldn't say defensive lineman, but he plays a lot of on the line. Maybe he's like an edge rush kind of guy. He plays a lot on the outside, but for him to record 1 sack minus 160, it's climbing. I like that, even though it's a little juicy. Fletcher Cox minus 200. He's probably going to get 1 too. Fletcher Cox. Then Dominic Sue. Yeah, I agree. I think Eagles might get more pressure. I don't know about sacks, but I think they'll get more pressure. But we've seen it. We've seen the Chiefs kind of wake up with Frank Clark, Chris Jones. And Spagnuolo's going to bring the heat. He's not just going to sit back and let Jalen Hurts operate. So I think he's going to make them a little frustrated. But I do like that play. Other ones for me, I got Jalen Hurts under 31.5 pass attempts, just because if the Eagles have to go out there and pass it or attempt to pass it 32 times, they're not in a stage to win the game. Their recipe to win the game is to throw it as little as possible and run the ball. 32 times is fucking crazy for Jalen Hurts. I don't think he goes out and attempts 32 passes in the Super Bowl. That's just not a recipe Nick Sirianni wants or him.
The only way I see that happening though,
is if they're getting blown out.
If they're getting blown out.
And I don't think anyone expects that to happen. So I like under 31 and a half pass attempts for Jalen Hurts. What else you got?
All right, Joe. I like the Eagles to win time of possession at minus 144. It's a little chalky, though, but I do believe they will win time possession. Like you said, you're alluding to it. The Chiefs have to establish the running game. The Eagles' identity is running the football. So I think they will be running the ball all throughout the game. Like you say, Jalen Hurts will go under 32 and a half pass attempts. I think they're just going to run down Kansas City's throat as much as you can with Gainwell, with Boston Scott, with Miles Sanders, with Jalen Hurts still. I just feel like they could just dominate time possession by running the ball. And I think Kansas City, they're going to have a few 3-and-outs because they're going to rely heavy on passing the ball deal. So I expect Kansas City to get off the field quick with a few 3-and-outs passing the ball. And I expect Philadelphia to have a few long drives, 5, 7, 8-minute drives by running the ball and getting short first downs.
What's the price on that for the
minus 144? It's a little rich.
A little chalky, but
yeah, I like it.
They're their favorite for the reason because they probably will run the ball a little more. I do like that play. And if anyone wants to get in on all these projections, go on over to Prize Picks. All first-time users that deposit, use promo code DreamWager. You'll receive an 100% instant deposit match up to 100. You deposit 100, Prize Picks will give you 100. It is easy. Entries can be made within 60 seconds or less. You could parlay anything to NBA, NFL, NHL, MLBs around the season. It literally includes everything. So you get 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than the Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money. For example, you could get Chris Jones more than a half a sack, combine it with Jalen Hurts under his pass attempts. You get a nice little payout, $20, get you nice $60 for the week. So Prize Picks is safe, offers fast withdrawals as well. Download Prize Picks today for daily fantasy sports. Play with us. Play in the big game, not now, but right now. Use promo code DreamWager when you sign up. Elvis, I got a Gatorade one. Do you?
No, Dill. I don't have a Gatorade.
You couldn't come down on a Gatorade one.
No, Dill. I ended up staying away from it this year just because there's so many colors, Dill. And to be honest, if anything, I do like. I'm sticky original. I'm like blue, red, or orange.
So I did blue at plus 380. I did orange plus 280. And then I sprinkled a little on yellow, green, and lime at even money. So one of them has to hit.
One of them will hit. Like I said, I like blue or orange or red. It's going to be one of those three.
What else do I have? I'm looking at my thing right. Oh, the thing that you and I have a friendly bet on that has to hit this year. I got tails in the coin toss as well.
I have heads. Dylan, let's give some context to the people listening. Dylan, for the past 2 seasons, I have won a friendly wager against Dylan Rockford on heads, and I tell him every time. For some reason, it's always heads on the Super Bowl, and he's gonna do it again. He's gonna go tails. I already put money on it. I'm going heads. I always put every year I put $50 heads, and it hits. I don't know why. It's probably a little more silver on the head side. I don't know what it is, Dill, but it's gonna be heads once again.
I feel like this year might be my year.
Yeah, okay.
Tails never fucking fails. It's the original saying we grew up with.
It failed you twice. You can't say that. That's
not this year, though.
You're lying to the people.
This year.
We get sued for false advertisement, Dylan.
Not this year. It's not going to fail me this year. A wise man once told me my next bet is my best bet. And that's fucking tails, baby. Minus 104 both ways, tails or heads. Elvis will be on heads. I'm on tails. I'm going to piggyback off CT. I like Kansas City as a team to rush for a touchdown. It's a little juicy at minus 145. I see it right now at minus 150. But, I do think the Chiefs are going to be in the red zone a lot. And at some point, like I said earlier, they're going to need to establish some type of run game. They just can't solely rely on Patrick Mahomes in this pass offense. They got the three-headed beast in Isaiah Pacheco, McKinnon, Clyde Edward-Helaire is back. He just got activated. So, I like this even more because I am on the Chiefs side, and I do think they'll be in the red zone a few times. So I like the Chiefs to score a rushing touchdown at minus 145 as well. What other props you got?
Dill, give me what will happen first, a sack or a touchdown. Give me a sack at minus 110. Like I said earlier, Dill, I love Chris Jones. I love the defensive front for the Eagles, and I also love the front for the Chiefs, Dill. I think both sides will get pressure on the quarterback, Dill. Give me a sack to happen prior to a touchdown at minus 110. Opening touchback, no touchback at plus 130. That football is solid like a rock, and the play's gonna be so juiced up that they're gonna run it. They're gonna try to run it back to the house. They're gonna run it through a fucking wall, Dale. So give me no touchback at plus 130. Give me most kicking points. Give me Butler at minus 124, Dale. I think Nick Sirianni and the Eagles will be a little more aggressive than Andy Reid and the Chiefs. So I think they'll go for a slightly more on 4th and down. So instead of kicking the field goal, they're either going to turn the ball over, they're going to march down the field and score a touchdown. I think Andy Reid will be a little more conservative. I think he kicks the 40, 50-yard field goal with his veteran kicker, and I think he has the most confidence in his kicker, though. Give me Butler most points at minus 24. And then give me distance of the longest field goal over 46 and a half. Though, like I said, I think Butler, he got the leg, is indoors. I know it's not indoors, but it's in Arizona. It's going to be no
wind. It's an attractable roof.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful weather. It's damn near, it's Arizona, people. So no wind, no nothing, attractable roof. I think Butler can hit a 50-plus yarder, Dill. It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me if he hits a 57. So give me the longest distance field goal made over 46 and a half. Give me Kadarius Toney, dude. I think he's gonna have somewhat of an impact in this game. I think he's a danger down the field and even off a bubble screen deal. Give me Kadarius Toney over 30 and a half receiving yards at minus 110. Though I think he could do some damage on that team. All the focus is going to be on Travis Kelce. Some focus on Valdes-Scantling. He had a huge AFC Championship game. And I think Tony's going to be one-on-one coverage, and I think he'd be able to win some of those coverages. They'll give me Toney over 30 and a half receiving yards at minus 110. And then, Dill, this was a little fun one, Dill. Give me Kadarius Toney for the longest reception of the game at plus 1,400, people. Wow. I love this one. I think he either could take the top off on one of the defenders against the Eagles or just catch a bubble screen and probably take it, 40, 50 yards to the house. So it would have shown me if he's able to do that. So give me Kadarius Toney over 30 and a half receiving yards and the longest reception of the game at plus 1,400.
Plus 1,400, worth a little sprinkle. The last one I have is the one you mentioned. Will there be a touchback? No. At plus money. It's going to be a hard kick. I think they're going to run it out. I don't think it goes far into the end zone as well. So, and once they kick that ball, it goes right into Canton after that. So they return it, gives it to the sideline, and see ya.
I have two more final plays, Dill, and then we go. Give me Chris Jones anytime sack at minus 118, Dill. I think he gets a sack. He might even get two. Either sprinkle something on multiple sacks. I think it was at plus 280. Sprinkle something on that. And then my last play, Dill, I love this play. Give me A.J. Brown over 20 first quarter receiving yards at plus 185, Dill. I think they try to give him the ball early. Remember, he was complaining he wasn't getting enough targets, so I think he will get the first reception of the game and probably another first down or two somewhere in the first quarter, Dill. But I expect him to get a reception, first drive of the game, and then get another first down or two somewhere in the first quarter. So give me A.J. Brown more than 20 first quarter receiving yards at plus 185.
Elvis, how many you got? 16, 17?
16 total plays. Yeah, 16. Did I say everything? Yeah, 16 total plays.
I gave out 14 for you. CT gave you some. And if your book does offer it, he got some insider information about Rihanna. First song, Bitch Better Have My Money. And then last one, Diamonds. So I don't know. I tried to look on my book. Some of them don't offer it, and I think they've taken them down because CT has insider information. So
reliable information, people.
So love to hear that. And I love all these like fun props they they promote and they give out. You know, it's the last day. It's everyone
They
wants to
they
bet.
know half the audience won't be betting for the next 5 months.
Yeah,
They know it.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but Elvis, good luck. It'll be our last Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona. Last football for the year. No, not for the year. We'll be back in the summer previewing, breaking down divisions again. But
maybe some XFL action.
ooh, little
Maybe
X get some
we could bet on it. Hey, we
yeah.
could bet on it.
Yeah, it's football. I fucking love football.
I gotta
So
tune in. I gotta watch it. I want
we
to give you
actually have to watch it though.
Yeah, we gotta watch it.
But Elvis, good luck. Should be a good game. Any plans? Any big plans to watch the Super Bowl? Or do you like to watch it by yourself?
I like watching it by myself, especially when the Patriots are in it though. But this year I might watch it with the family or a couple friends, have some drinks, have a couple Vivas, you know. Might watch it with the friends this year, Dale. Who knows? I know I gotta go to my sister's house, eat, put on the Super Bowl for them because I have all the streaming services. So I gotta hook them up with my YouTube TV account. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna definitely go there first, eat, set them up, and then after that, might go dabble here, dabble there. Might watch the game by myself. Who knows?
I'm a company man. I appreciate that, Vivas. For me, you know what? I'm not big into like. You know what I kind of like to do if I'm not doing anything on the Sunday. I go to the bar in the like in early in the afternoon, watch some college basketball, get my mind ready, and I just like to have a few people, and it has to be selective because the way I watch football is very intense and very weird, and it's where the cops aren't at. So if I'm home and I'm safe and secure in my house, no one gets arrested. We're all good. And, when you got a lot of money on the line, you could act a certain way. I think you and I both know that. But Elvis, good luck tomorrow. Should be a good game. Can't wait for it. Super Bowl 57, 6:30. And guys, make sure you guys go get your props in and all your bets in now, because if you wait last minute, all the books are going to be down, lagging. Like, I put on all my bets already. I have no worries.
I've been betting since about 7:30 this morning, people, because I know come tomorrow, sitting there hits around 4:00.
It's over.
You're already, talking to people. You already got some drinks in you, and as soon as by the time you look up, the game starts, and then you go like, "Oh, this hit! Oh, I never put it in." Trust me, I've been there, people. I've been there.
It happens all the time, so shouldn't happen to you. Get ahead of the storm. Should be a good one. Chiefs, Eagles, Elvis, good luck. Let's transition to the NBA. We got some games, some pretty good games on today's slate. Let's start in the 6:00. Your Brooklyn Nets, like you mentioned, it's a short underdog +1 at home against the 76ers. Money line, if you want to just take them on the money line, -116 for the 76ers, -102 for the Brooklyn Nets. Mikal Bridges questionable for the trade. Joel Embiid is questionable. Over under sitting at 224. How you going to play this one, E?
Dill, I ended up staying away from it. I do like the 76ers just because they got, chemistry, Dill. This is going to be their first game with 3 new starters on the floor.
Yeah.
I know Spencer Dinwiddie and Smith, they played the last game against Chicago. We upset Chicago, by the way. Dill, I like Philly just because of the chemistry, the camaraderie. They've been there. We have 5 new players still. So I think. Oh, happy birthday to Coach John Vaughn, by the way. That's my boy Jack Vaughn. It's his birthday. Shout out to our coach. I just feel like it's gonna be a tough task for him to finding the right rotation that's gonna fit. Think about it though. He didn't have 5 of these players 3 days ago. So I just feel like we're just gonna have a problem with our rotation, what works best for us.
All right, let's get to the next one. You got Indiana Pacers on the road taking on the Washington Wizards. Wizards home favorite, -5.5 at home. Over under is at 234. Kyle Kuzma is out for the Wizards. George Hill out for the Pacers. Pacers lost 3 in a row. Wizards, they got a nice win, but other than that, against the Hornets, they've lost 3 in a row as well. 2 tough teams trying to hang around in the East. How do you see this one going around?
Dill, give me the Pacers +5.5 on the road. The fact that it's at +5.5 is kind of shocking. I understand the Wizards got Bradley Beal back and some players back, but this Pacers team, they're good. I understand they fell off the map a little bit, though, but they still have a pretty solid team. Halliburton is back. He's playing, finally getting his minutes back up, though. So give me the Pacers plus 5.5. And I think you got to sprinkle something on the money line here.
Yeah, I took Tyrese Halliburton over his points and assists at 27.5. He's back. I think he's going to dish him out. He's going to score. I like him for a double-double. If I like his over points and assists, you could get a double-double at plus 140 as well. I think he's going to go crazy against the Wizards. So I like Tyrese Halliburton, double-double plus 140. I like him over 27.5 points and assists. Let's go out to Orlando. Good win the other night, Orlando against the Nuggets. Now they're staying home, taking on another Florida team, Miami Heat. Heat -1, kind of a pick of -112 on the money line, -104 for the Magic. Over under at 215. Back in the Magic or the Heat in this one?
Yo, shockingly, I'm going to back the Heat, though. I've been getting burned recently. You know, I've been fading the Heat. Heat been winning some games now, so I'm going to take Heat basically at a home game in Orlando. 2-hour trip up to Orlando. They'll give me Miami -112 on the money line. I do like Orlando. I like, the strides they've been taking, Dill, but I think Miami, they got something to fight for. We know that Orlando's not a playoff team. Miami is a playoff team. They're trying to work on that seeding, Dill. Give me Miami on the money line.
Yeah, Victor Oladipo is doubtful for the Heat. Patrick Beverley's out for the Orlando Magic, but that's about it. I do think they are the better team, and I don't know about the number, to be honest. -1, I think they're kind of like a -3, -4 if they're all healthy. So we should see, but should be a good game down in Orlando. Let's go out to Charlotte. Hornets hosting the Denver Nuggets. Hornets 8-point underdogs at home against the Nuggets. Over under at 237. Now, all the guys they acquired, Thomas Bryant from the Nuggets, he's questionable. Aaron Gordon, questionable. Jamal Murray, questionable. They did lose against the Magic last time, but Charlotte, they're 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 5 in a row. They haven't covered 5 in a row. You still got to lay the 8, right?
Dill.
You can't back the Hornets. They're 15-42, bro.
Dill, I always have tough time laying points, especially anything above 5 on the road. Yes, you should lay the 8.5 still, but am I gonna tell the people to lay 8.5 on the road? No, it's not the ideal play to lay more than 5 points on the road, Dill. So I'll lean Denver. If anything, tease them, Dill. You tease Denver down to -2.5, and then you tease Cleveland to +2.5. So I'm gonna do that. Give me Cleveland +2.5 with Denver.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to New York. Knicks hosting the Jazz. Knicks -5.5 at home at the Mecca. Over under at 228. Only guy out for Utah, Jordan Clarkson, will not be playing. But other than that, they got Kelly Olynyk, they got Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton. We like to back them as a dog, but Knicks, they've been good right now. 30-27. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Lost tough one last night to Philly. But they beat Philly the other night. But I just don't. Besides, we'll get into the game in a sec. How isn't Jalen Brunson an all-star? He's been balling.
Still, I agree with you. I feel like a few players were snubbed. James Harden, a lot of players were snubbed. I feel like Shai should have been a starter.
Oh my God, he had another 40-point game last night.
Like, I don't know what. I guess the media. I know people vote. I think they get 1/3 of the vote, but.
Why is Zion? I know he's not playing, but Zion was voted.
Zion shouldn't even be the fact that Trae Young is not an all-star, but Zion is, kind of grinds my gears. You can't. How you have a guy that plays 40+ games, and then you have a guy that plays 27 games.
It's a joke.
And it's not available. He's not like he's dressing for the All-Star game. He might not dress till March.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. What do you got on the game? Knicks or the Jazz?
I do believe the Knicks will win this game, though. I like the Knicks in this situation. But like I said, to lay 5.5 points against a very good Jazz team, I don't know. So I might take the Jazz plus 5.5, but Knicks to win the game.
All right. How about an even worse team? San Antonio Spurs on the road taking on the Hawks. Hawks laying 2 touchdowns, over under 239.5. They've lost 10 in a row, 0-10 in their last 10. They haven't covered 10 either. Just an automatic fade, right? Just back the Hawks.
I want to say back the Hawks still, but I'm going to take Devontae Murray over 21.5 points. Think about it. Some bad blood there. That's his former team. He didn't like how things was transpiring down in San Antonio. So I think he gives them a little 30 piece still. So give me Dejounte Murray over 21.5 points. I think he goes off at 30 points still.
All right. I like that. Let's go out to Cleveland. Cavs laying 5 at home against the Bulls. Over-unders at 219.5. I was so mad because there were so many rumors the Knicks were involved in Zach LaVine. They were trying to get something done. That would have been good for the Knicks. They just don't trade anyone again. This is like the second or third deadline where they always say they're going to trade people, and then they just stay with the team. And I just don't understand what the front office is doing. So, I think you just got to back the Cavs at this point. They're 7-3. They've won 5 in a row. They've covered 5 straight. As for the Bulls, they've lost 2 in a row and just losing really badly. They lost to the Nets, lost to the Grizzlies. I just don't trust this team right now on the road against a very good Cleveland Cavalier team. I'll lay the 5. What about you?
Yeah, like I said, I ended up teasing Cleveland down to they're at a +1. They're at -5 right now. So I took them +1, and I ended up teasing Denver down to -2.5.
All right, 2 games left. Let's go out west. Golden State Warriors hosting the Lakers. Warriors -2 at home. Over-under is at 238. Anthony Davis is probable. He'll play. LeBron James is questionable, but I think LeBron James will play. A sack last game out, so I do expect him to play. Lakers, they've lost 3 in a row. Warriors, no better. They've lost 3 of their last 5. They're 4-6 in their last 10. I would say the Warriors are slightly the better team. I agree with the 2. I probably would take him straight up on the money line, though. What about you?
Good deal. Give me the dogs. Give me the Lakers +115 on the money line, Dell. I think this is a must-win game for the Lakers. They're 6 games under 500. I think they got to rally some of these games in to secure a playoff spot. You got D'Angelo Russell. You got Beasley. You got Vanderbilt. You got a healthy Anthony Davis still. You got no excuses now. You got to go out there and go make the playoffs. So give me the Lakers on the money line. And I think we see a win streak from here on out, Dale. I think LeBron knows it. I think the team knows it. They got to make a playoff push with the pieces they just added.
Yep. Last game on the board. Let's go out to Sacramento. We'll stay in California. Sacramento hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Sacramento -1 at home. On the money line, -118. +1 for the Dallas Mavericks. On the money line, +100. Over-under is at 235. No injuries or people sitting out. Luka is questionable. Dallas, they've won 4 of their last 5. It's kind of the reverse for Sacramento, 4-6 in their last 10. But, Elvis, before we start, Kyrie, last 2 games so far, 24 points against the Clippers and 5 assists. And then against the Kings the other night, 25 points and 10 assists. And they're 2-0 without Luka. Kyrie's doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all, Dale. Like I said, I think Kyrie was having his best season as an NBA player this season so far. He's a top 10 player this season. He leads the NBA fourth quarter scoring, Dale. He's one of the clutchest players in NBA history, has one of the greatest handles in NBA history. I will never be shocked at the numbers Kyrie Irving is putting up. Dill. But with that being said, give me the Kings at home, -115 on the money line, Dill. If you want to lay the -1 at -110, by all means. I think the Kings take care of business at home, and the Mavs lose their first game with Kyrie Irving on the court.
Elvis, good luck on the hardwood. I got 10 college plays for you. 3-0 on Thursday. Yesterday, 2-1. Let's build it a little momentum. I always feel like whenever I give out all these plays, it never goes well. But when I stick to 2 to 3 plays, it's very good. But here's fucking nothing. Let's go. Georgia, home puppies, +8.5 against Kentucky. Give me the Bulldogs, not just the football school. UMBC, remember them? The Golden Retrievers knocked out Virginia as the 16th seed. Give me them against Bryant at home, -1.5. I'll take Kansas Jayhawks on the road, laying 3.5 against the Sooners. Give me my alumni, Towson Tigers, -2.5 against Drexel. Clemson, +7 against the Tar Heels on the road. Bama, -2.5 on the road against Auburn. Give me the Baylor Bears. Shout out CT, -1.5 against TCU. The Raging Cajuns, Louisiana, -1.5 against Troy. Seattle at home, -1.5 against Grand Canyon. And then the late night special, 10 o'clock. UCLA Bruins, -2.5 against the Ducks. Quack, quack. So,
Still,
good luck,
real
everybody.
quick.
Yeah, you got one.
I got one. Your boy been hitting on these. I hit Murray State
And Virginia Tech.
And Virginia Tech. So your boy been doing his thing. All plus money, all dogs still. And I got another one. I'm only picking upset winners Saturdays, people. Did it back-to-back weeks. Murray State and Virginia Tech. Upsets. We stormed the court. Dylan saw it. Dylan saw it last week. I know he loved it. Dill, I'm back with another one. Give me Auburn to storm the court at +128, Dill. Come on now. Let's make it 3 in a row. 2 in a row, storm the court. You heard it here first.
That's insane. You love to go against me.
No, like. Dill, you can't front. I was right last week, and I was like, they're going to storm the court. This is another one.
No, they did storm the court.
This is another one. I almost did the Kansas game, but I like Auburn a little more.
All right. Elvis, good luck. Let's make it 3 in a row. Hopefully that's the only loser I give out is Alabama.
Facts.
But Elvis, good luck everything on the Super Bowl. Good luck tonight in the NBA. Hey, and good luck to everyone if you're betting UFC 284 in Perth, Australia. Stay up. Should be a good one. You got 2 title fights. Yeah.
Facts. Huge pay-per-view tonight. Real quick.
Yeah.
We did, I think this is our first podcast Sunday. Congrats to LeBron James becoming the all-time leading scorer. Oko James, my favorite basketball player of all time, greatest player of all time. Let's put the debate down, people. LeBron James is the GOAT.
I'm actually upset with myself that I didn't mention it. I thought I wrote it down to mention it, but yeah, LeBron James breaks the record. No performance-enhancing drugs, correct?
Not one. No performance-enhancing drugs. Now,
should people look into that?
No. You know why? Because he's Iron Man, Dill. He was. You know when people are like, oh, he's born. He's built different, Dill. This man has been doing it 20 years straight. Not one hiccup. Not one off the court allegation. Nothing, Dill. That's a man. That's the greatest human being to ever. I ain't going that far, but that's one of the greatest sports personnel ever to be ever in the game, Dill. That's LeBron freaking James. LeBron Ramon James. I love saying his middle name. His middle name is Ramon.
Elvis, good luck to this weekend with all your bets. Good luck to everyone. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. Thank you to CT for taking the time out and chopping it up with us. On behalf of our sponsors, Viva Tequila, Prize Picks, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. We'll wrap up Super Bowl 57. We'll let you know all the winners we gave out. If you guys missed anything, you guys can find us on Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. If you missed an episode, you guys can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Be safe. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.